Well, hello YouTube, it is RL coming to you once again from my channel. This time I have a new topic for you, YouTube. I am going to be talking about Beverly Hills Cop 4. So recently I looked up some news that Beverly Hills Cop 4, it is the long-awaited sequel to Beverly Hills Cop 3. Garbage movie, I know. So finally there will be a Beverly Hills Cop 4. So there have been rumblings about this movie for years and nothing seems to get going. It has been in development hell. Finally, Eddie Murphy is going to be doing another Beverly Hills Cop movie, and it's about time. I mean, the third movie was just garbage. I might even do a rankings of the series, but there's only 3 movies so far, so there's not much to rank. The best one is clearly the first one, although I like the second one a smidgen better because I grew up with it. I went to the theater to see it. Really loved that movie when I was a kid. It just have a lot of nostalgia for me. I just loved everything about it. It was just a hilarious movie. Eddie Murphy was his funniest best at the time. He ad-libbed. I'm pretty sure half the movie was all him. I mean, the script was nothing special, but he made that movie. He was amazing. There were so many scenes that he just stole. So many con scenes where, he even cons a construction company who's building a house for this rich family, and he convinced them to stop constructing, tells them that the house, an error, they changed the plans, and there was going to be no right angles on the house, and they were like, well, it's going to be a donut. Well, they want to live in a donut. Well, you're a bucket hard critic. What an amazing moment. He's just so funny. He's so witty, and he's got so much style and humor about him. So the movie, even though a lot of people don't like it compared to the first Beverly Hills Cop, it holds a special place in my heart. I love that movie. But anyways, moving on. Beverly Hills Cop 3 came out in 1994. It was a disaster. It wasn't rated R. The movie's tone was ridiculous. It was pretty much a kid's movie. It wasn't good at all. It was just awful. It was nothing like the first 2 Beverly Hills Cop. Had no comedic stuff, was just ridiculous. Eddie Murphy was in an amusement park the whole movie, and he wore like a mascot thing. It was just ridiculous. It was so stupid. It wasn't even funny. It wasn't even good. And this is the last time Beverly Hills Cop came out. So this is going to be another prediction podcast and talk a little bit of what I want to see in a new Beverly Hills Cop movie because I'm excited about it. I really hope they could do a good job with this one because it's been a long time. Let's get started. So apparently Netflix is going to be making this. I'm not a happy camper about that, to be honest. I really was hoping this would be a theatrical release. I don't know, maybe they will. I don't think Netflix does those things. As long as it's a good movie, it's rated R, it's not cartoony, and it's not silly and stupid, I think it could be a decent movie. Let's see what happens. I'm hoping to see Eddie Murphy strike gold again. He sort of resurged his career lately. He did another Coming to America movie's coming out, cult classic kind of thing. I saw it as a kid. It was okay. Not my favorite movie of his. Obviously, Beverly Hills Cop 1 and 2 are higher on the list. I'm not that excited for Coming to America, but I'm really excited to see what they do with Beverly Hills Cop 4. So I don't think they're going to have many of the original cast coming back because they're a lot older now. I don't know if the character of Rosewood is going to be back. He was a real good character, a lot of fun. Taggart was another character. They had great chemistry. Rosewood came back for the third movie, but he was by himself. He didn't have Taggart to bounce off of, and that was really what made his character so great, was that dynamic between the chemistry in Beverly Hills Cop 2. I love the camaraderie. I love the humor. I love the fact that they were so good together. Even though the script wasn't as good as the first one, it still had a great buddy cop feel to it. It really still felt like I enjoyed these characters. I really enjoyed every moment, even though there were some silly moments, but it still had some really cool camaraderie, which I really loved about the Beverly Hills Cop 1 and 2. So yeah, they need to have that kind of dynamic again, and hopefully they could do that somehow with another cop duo other than Eddie Murphy, Axel Foley. I mean, obviously this movie has to be rated R. It has to go back to the roots. It has to have great music, maybe some 80s music or some new style, obviously. Get a little retro would be great, but it has to have a Axel Foley that is a bit of a con artist. He has to do stuff to con people into getting his way and finding ways to get into a situation that he shouldn't be in. The scene where he goes to the Playboy Mansion in the second movie, he convinces the lady there in the reception area that he's going to clean the pool. Someone made a mistake in the pool. It was hilarious. There's got to be stuff like that in this movie. There was nothing like that in the third movie. Eddie Murphy was not good in that movie. It was not his fault, but maybe he didn't really care anymore. I don't think he really cared. And obviously it wasn't a rated R movie, so he couldn't really be at his funniest. That was not very good. You know, that's one of the things they have to do. There has to be the camaraderie. There has to be some kind of, this has to build. Maybe this one has to be another beginning where he meets some new cop in the Beverly Hills, and they're also a little bit not trusting him, like in the first Beverly Hills Cop. And then Beverly Hills Cop 5 developed that rapport with those cops like they did in Beverly Hills Cop 2, because Beverly Hills Cop 1, they didn't have that rapport yet. They didn't trust him. He was just a renegade cop choice. They didn't trust him. They thought he was a hoodlum. They didn't really like him very much. But as the movie went along in the first Beverly Hills Cop, they started to believe everything he was saying, and they trusted him and saw that he was a great cop, even though he was a bit of a character and I did things a lot differently, and obviously fractured a little bit of a law from time to time, as they said in the second movie. So yeah, I just want to see some good action, a script that's a little bit edgy, rated R, and just to have that camaraderie, have Eddie Murphy do what he did best in Beverly Hills Cop 1, and especially in 2, because he was hilarious in that. Just do some con stuff, and just con people with his wit, and his sarcasm, and his timing, comedic timing. I want to see Eddie Murphy do that. I want to see Eddie Murphy, the classic Eddie Murphy from the 1980s, return. Please be Eddie Murphy from the 1980s, not Eddie Murphy 2000. Eddie Murphy that really, really cares about the movie, really, really wants to be hilarious, because when he's on, he's on. He's one of the greatest comedians ever to grace the big screen. He is so talented. He's got so much comedic timing. He's a comedic genius. He is able to ad-lib at will, and that's a talent that not a lot of people can do. It is really difficult, and he does it well. I want to see him do that in Beverly Hills Cop 4. I want to be excited about Beverly Hills Cop again. I want to see him do stuff that he did in the 80s and just have his mouth just go 1,000 miles an hour and just con everybody. Do what he did best, because that's what made Beverly Hills Cop 1 and 2 classic movies, is having Eddie Murphy at his very best, because Eddie Murphy could make a movie, an amazing movie, all on his own. He could do it by himself. If he does that, does his magic, Beverly Hills Cop 4 with an R rating could be as good as the first two Beverly Hills Cop, and hopefully they can do it and erase the bad taste that Beverly Hills Cop 3 put in my mouth and everyone else's mouth, because it was a terrible movie. I don't even watch it. I never see it. Don't have it in my collection. I have Beverly Hills Cop 1 and 2. Happy to have those movies. They're classics from the 1980s. Love them. But Beverly Hills Cop 3 is a terrible movie. Please, please make Beverly Hills Cop 4 as good as number 2. In my opinion, that would be exciting for me. I can't wait. Wish I could say a little bit more, but there's not much detail I could go into yet. I don't know when this movie's coming out. Hopefully it'll come out soon, in the next 6 to 12 months. I want to see it. Very excited. That's all for now, YouTube. Like, subscribe, leave a comment below, and I will have more videos for you in the weeks, months, and years to come. So that's all, YouTube. I am RL. Bye for now.